One of the most dramatic moments in the Bible is the story of Elijah's departure. In 2 Kings 2, as Elijah walked with his disciple Elisha, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared, and Elijah was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. Unlike most people, Elijah never died, but why did God take him this way? Hey, welcome to the series where we take a deep dive into the amazing stories of the Bible and uncover the hidden meanings and messages they hold. If you're ready to explore the depths of God's Word, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an exciting episode. Now let's get back to the video. Elijah was no ordinary prophet. He stood boldly against King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. He called down fire on Mount Carmel and turned Israel back to God. He prayed and the rain stopped for years, and then he prayed again and the heavens poured rain. He lived a life of faith, power, and intimacy with God. So why did God take him in such a spectacular and somewhat sudden way? First, I believe God took Elijah to honor him, showing his approval of a faithful servant. You see, throughout history, God has taken people to himself in unique ways to set them apart as his own. For example, Enoch walked with God and then he simply vanished from earth. When Jesus was transfigured before 3 of his disciples, Moses and Elijah appeared and conversed with him. These instances were not just miraculous departures or arrivals. They were public demonstrations of God's favor and recognition of their faithfulness. Elijah's journey to heaven was a public event witnessed by Elisha and his company. It was a way for God to showcase his servant and all that he had accomplished during his lifetime. It was a divine display of, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." Second, Elijah's departure was a sign pointing to the future. In fact, Malachi 4-5 says, "I will send the prophet Elijah before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes." That's why in the New Testament, many wondered if John the Baptist was Elijah returned. And remember, Elijah appears again in the New Testament, standing with Moses at the Transfiguration of Jesus. He represents the prophets, just as Moses represents the law, both pointing to Christ as the fulfillment. Finally, God took Elijah in a whirlwind because his mission wasn't finished. Elijah was a pivotal figure in Israel's history. He played a crucial role in turning the nation back to God, and his work wasn't done yet. The Bible tells us that Elijah was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind, which symbolizes the powerful and unstoppable nature of God's Spirit. This emphasizes that Elijah's departure was not a natural death, but a supernatural event orchestrated by God. It was a clear indication that Elijah's service to the Lord was far from over. Instead of retiring to heaven, Elijah was being prepared for a greater purpose. God had more plans for him, and only when he was in the presence of the Lord would he fully understand why. So why did God take Elijah in a whirlwind? Because his mission wasn't finished. God lifted him up as a testimony of hope, a picture of victory over death, and a reminder that those who walk with God will live forever. And here's the encouragement for us. Elijah's story shows us that our faithfulness is never forgotten. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with a friend, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. What do you think Elijah's whirlwind journey means for us today? Subscribe to the Kingdom Reality Hub. We've got awesome videos coming up that will help you understand the Bible like never before. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. Remember, you are wonderfully made in the image of God, and if you agree, let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.